Is Bitcoin potentially setting up for a heinous market crash? Are warning signs beginning to appear in the chart? And may it just in fact be time to finally get this crypto? What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Crypto Kirby here, your cryptocurrency expert, back with another edition of the daily live stream. What is going on, my friends? Today I'd like to discuss Bitcoin and the action we're seeing inside the chart right now. Bitcoin has dropped back below the $8,500 region, now testing into absolutely critical territory here for not only the bulls, but for the bears as well. As my friends, right now I believe we are at a boiling point, a point of potential explosion for the price here in the short term. So as a full-time trader, I'd like to discuss with you my strategy, my game plan, and how I plan to crush this market right now in the immediate term. So without any further ado, you guys already know the deal. If you like these daily crypto videos and nightly live streams, smack that thumbs up button, click the subscribe, tick the little bell, and let's get this crypto. Moon the likes, ladies and gentlemen. Moon them up. All right, so we'll begin with our Bitcoin technical analysis. And of course, before we begin, this is not investment advice. This is not trading advice. These are only my own opinions, ideas, and speculative hypotheses on the market. Always do your own research and your own due diligence before investing or trading, as this market is extremely high risk, and I am not your financial advisor. I will never tell you what to do with your trades or investments. That being said, let's begin right here on We'll start here on the daily time frame. Now, we are looking at the line chart here. This only accounts for the closes of the candle bodies, not the wicks. Now, immediately, right off the bat, I hope that you guys are seeing this could be a hidden descending triangle. We know that descending triangles have played such an incredibly prominent role in the Bitcoin price action of the macro trend time and time again, all throughout, ladies and gentlemen. Really, it's just been a critical pattern that's played out from a macro perspective, and even on the inverse here on the bottom, we had an ascending triangle, right? So these patterns have definitely, in my opinion, played an incredibly prominent role when looking at crucial points in the trend of Bitcoin. Now, this one's a little bit hidden, right? And the reason I'm saying hidden is because essentially the bottom would be down here, right? For a more traditional descending triangle, you would be looking for a bottom down here like that. But what I want to pay attention to here now, right? Just, looking at this from a theoretical standpoint, we are coming up upon an area that has played as support and resistance time and time again throughout the past several months. So for me here, this purple box ranging between 78.50 all the way up to 8,200 has played a role that right now we would be expecting to see some sort of potential support in here if the bulls are going to remain bullish, right? If buy pressure is going to come in, looking at the past data here, we could expect some potential bullish defense inside this range. Of course, past performance does not indicate future results, but we have seen some buy pressure here historically. And if this is in fact to be the area where the bulls come in again, my friends, this would start to look to me like a potential hidden descending triangle. And you guys know, I've pointed these out in the past. A while ago, I had a very similar one here. It was actually over here on the bull run that I was looking at this as a hidden ascending triangle, right? I omitted this data here, right? I omitted that. And then as soon as I showed you guys this, all the other moon boys, right? Crypto analysts, they all start going, hey guys, there might be a hidden ascending triangle. Yeah. I'm sure you found that one on your own, James. But we all know, everybody secretly watches the dawn. So now all of a sudden, if you start seeing other crypto analysts seeing, oh guys, this could be a hidden descending triangle, you know where they got it from, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get this crypto. Okay, so now that's just one thing to take into consideration. Of course, what I'd be looking for is a break of this support line around 78.50, and then looking for a continued sell off to the downside below this region if this is in fact to wind up playing out in this fashion. Let's get this crypto. But now on to the more, normal technical analysis here. That was just a speculative pattern that I was looking at. Okay. Now, a big concern here for me, ladies and gentlemen, is that we are underneath this 200-day moving average still, right? You can see on the line chart, we never got above it. There was never a candle body close above that region. If we go back to the traditional candlestick chart, we did get a wick above it, but that was it. We did not see any type of sustained pressure at that region. In fact, it never even closed above, which is very bearish in my opinion. If we switch over to the Heikin-Ashi candles here, which are more like moving averages in and of itself, right? This is not a traditional candle. The way that these are used are essentially momentum indicators. So we can see here, we got up to this 200-day moving average, and look at the Heikin-Ashi candle that comes in, ladies and gentlemen. Ding, 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 chicken wings for dinner, tofu if you're vegan. A classic doji, flipped from the green all the way up, all the momentum, bullish and green, to then getting to the 200-day moving average, a traditional indicator that's looking for the health of the macro trend. We get up to this region and we stick in a red doji, indecisive candle, which is generally what you'd be looking for at a point of a trend reversal. We get that at a point where we could have expected a reversal anyway. That candle comes in, and ever since, my friends, every Heikin-Ashi one-day candle since that peak has been red. Let's get this crypto. So now we have to understand what we're looking at here. The momentum since really the 19th of January has certainly been down. Although when you look at it on the regular candlestick chart, there has been some choppiness, right? A little bit of upside action here before a little bit of a bear flag, a notch right down. But for the most part, my friends, the action has been very bearish. Here on the weekly candle as well, we could see that this is starting to begin looking like it could be a very nasty close here, where we essentially just retraced all of last week's price action in this very single candle here, right? Let's get this crypto. So when we start to monitor what's going on here, for me, it really just looks a lot like a continuation of a downtrend, right? Where we're just seeing a continued series of lower highs. I mean, it's very easy to get excited in this market, right? Especially I understand there are a lot of moon boys playing with a very small amount of capital, right? And they just want to hear, it's going to the moon. Do you know what I mean, little James? This is not a channel that I'm going to sit here, rub your shoulder and tell you that one day we're going to the moon, James, and then you show them technical analysis that's just very classic textbook. Have you ever read a book, little James? You ever actually look at the basic fundamentals of technical analysis? Sheesh. If you're going to sit here and cry over what looks to be still a bearish trend, in my opinion, and you're going to cry, little James, you can go over there, maybe get yourself some warm milk, take a nice hot shower, and go back to sleep, my friend, because the thing is that if you're going to sit here and cry in a corner when Don Carbonaccio is showing you that I still see nothing here, that has to mean that this trend is macro bullish. I mean, in my opinion, that would be completely blasphemous to make such a claim at this point. All I'm seeing here is that we still appear to be in bearish structures, no matter how you look at it. When we go and we look at things such as the total crypto cap as well, let's go over. This includes altcoins and Bitcoin. My friends, we appear to have been rejected just now inside this historic range of confluence that I have outlined by the purple box. We tested up into it. We've dropped down, still a lower high, and we're actually underneath this box once again. And we could see here that when we look at our 0.618 and 0.786 Fibonacci logarithmic retracements, which is the area where a deep pullback for this trend could potentially pull back to, my friends, we're still looking here at, between a 12% and an 18% drop if it is to, in fact, play out. Let's get this crypto. And where would that bring us, ladies and gentlemen? Where would it bring us? Right to this line where we have historic confluence and touch points over and over and over and over and over and over and over again, dating all the way back into October of 2017 to potentially create another hidden support line of a potentially hidden descending triangle pattern before we cross this line in the sand to potentially capitulate down into what then for me would be a new zone in the bear market, right? For me, this line in the sand is very important here because, I would essentially be looking at it in two parts at that point, right? That would be one half up there that I just outlined. And then if we cross here down below, this would essentially be the separate area. Let me make a different color for this just so that we can visualize, right, what's occurring here. This would essentially be the two halves of the market, right? Where you have your overly bullish zone up here, and then you have your overly bearish zone down here with this equilibrium line in the sand that's been, being created for 3 years at this point, right? You see what I'm saying? It's essentially a cookie cutter line right down the middle, right? And for me, guys, we are essentially at the point where we could be looking to test some of this, not too far out into the future. It just is what it is. If you appreciate what I'm showing you here and you're not getting caught up with the moon boy hullabaloo garbaggio, with little James eating his chocolate chip cookies. Oh, what I saw, Tim Draper said it could go to $1 million a corn, Kirby, $1 million a corn. Go eat those chocolate chip cookies, little James. Have yourself a ball, because on this stream here in the house that Don Carbonaccio built, we throw that moon boy garbaggio out the window, because this stream right here is the best thing going inside the cryptocurrency space today. They can like it or they don't like it, but ladies and gentlemen, they better learn to love it. This right here is the best thing going inside the cryptocurrency space today. Let's get this crypto. Diamonds are forever, and so is Don Carbonaccio. Sheesh. So now we see that potentially hidden there as well. Also rejected right at the 200-day moving average. You see what's going on. If we go to the total cap of just the altcoins, ladies and gentlemen, look at the historic level. All of this confluence in here, right? All the peaks, right? Drops, peaks. This peak here, essentially a double top, my friends. A relative double top. Not exactly perfect, but essentially a double top. Getting rejected, potentially also squeezing into this triangular downward sloping resistance line. I don't want to say that this one has to be a descending triangle, but again, look, we do have this essentially hidden support line here, right? Which, when you look at it, it does look very similar to a descending triangle. And if that level is to break, my friends, I don't see much support until this old historic cluster down there, which is essentially a 70% drop from the break of that line. Let's get this crypto. Just is what it is, right? We could take a look now as well at let's take a look at the futures market. If we notice here as well, let's put on our candles, or rather, we could look at the candles. What we're seeing here, my friends, is very much the same. This one actually did have candle body closes above the 200-day, right? The futures market did. It was the front runner in looking at something that could be promising, right? Maybe a hidden bullish indicator that the futures were closing above the 200-day. But nope, it dropped back below. Now we've closed 2 daily candles below that region. Looking on par with everything else, in my opinion. Let's get this crypto. If we look at GBTC as well, which is the traditional market tool that many use to speculate, to track the spot price of Bitcoin, very much the same, my friends. And this one's actually on an even steeper decline here. This is a very, very steep decline that we're on right now. And it does look like we could be preparing for a triple bottom retest here. And, per classical technical analysis theory, the more times that you test down to a level, the more likely, or rather the higher the probability becomes to potentially purge through the level, right? The way I like to look at it is it's almost like it's poking holes in either a ceiling or, in this case, in the floor. And the more holes that it pokes, the larger the probability is for that floor to give way from too many holes being poked in it, and then it can drop through, right? Let's get this crypto. So, right now, my friends, let's look at some other indicators now. I feel like I've just been giving a very macro perspective here. Let's look in here. We see that our RSI right now has hit the overbought conditions. We also saw that we did have a slight divergence here as well. Right at the top there, we are now selling off. The MACD has now begun to cross over into negative momentum, bearish momentum, and we are coming up upon this range where, in my opinion, you see this here, right? This is the last area that we could expect a bounce, in my opinion, right? Now, don't get me wrong. Please, Moonboy Montgomery, please, please, please do not misinterpret what I'm saying here, right? For me, speculatively, this area between 8,200 and 7,800 would be the final area that I'd be looking for a bounce, before then looking for a complete retest down into this old bottom area, potentially all the way into the $6,000 region again, right? If the bulls hold in here, there is sentiment to maybe continue higher. And what you'd be looking for is essentially a new higher high above this $9,000, $9,200 region. But if the bulls do not get that, right, and all we get here is maybe a little bullish defense in this zone, and then another lower high, a respect of this downward sloping trend line, and then a plunge through, sheesh, my friends, that just looks very classic bearish. I don't know how else to put it for you. For me, I'm still bearish in this market until the chart shows me not to be. And of course, right, I was trying to explain this the other day, right, for the degenerates that don't really understand how technical analysis works, right, and they don't understand what the usefulness is of technical analysis. They would see this as, right, say that right now I'm showing you this and we just bounce and it goes, right up to 10,000. Get wrecked, Kirby. You missed it. You stink. You. James, it's not that I missed the percentage. Do you not understand? It's not that you missed it, Kirby. It's that there was no bullish confirmations here for me to get in a net long type of scenario for myself here, right? Do you not get it? For me right now, the trend still looks like it's macro bearish to me. I'm awaiting confirmations of this to change, right? Things like putting in a new higher high, forming support above prior highs after breaking that downward sloping trend line. And seeing other things, right? Getting above the 200-day moving average, which we're not now. Consolidating above, right? Things like this. Things like the weekly moving average here on the line chart as well. Getting back above that 21-week average, which we are flirting below now, right? And I've been pointing that out to all the moon boys at the beginning of this week. See, Curry, we're above the 21-week. And I said, you listen up. Little James, let me tell you, my friend, you're playing with fire if you're not awaiting for these closes to come in, right? Technical analysis is all about confirmations, right? It's not always going to be correct. This technical analysis can be wrong often, right? People don't understand, right? When you trade, you lose trades. You win trades. I win trades. I lose trades. It's normal. You're never going to win all the time. Technical analysis is not like a cheat code that you just look at this and go, oh, for sure, 100% that's going to occur. That is blasphemy. There are no guarantees and no certainties in trading at all. Technical analysis is here to give you a perceived advantage over the rest of the market by observing historic price action in similar trading environments to see how traders responded in the past and how that could potentially shape what could potentially happen now in the current and present environment. Let's get this crypto. That's all, right? And then you have to look for your high reward, low risk trade setups. And it is what it is, right? So for me right now, I'm really going to pay attention to this area here. If there is going to be a bounce, I believe it is going to occur rather soon, ladies and gentlemen. And we're going to have to, at that point, look for, is this going to stay on a lower high trajectory, right? Below the 200-day moving average as well. And even if there is a fake out, it is really below this top here around 9,200, right? Or on the line chart here, more so around 8,950, right? Let's get this crypto. But overall, still looking like it has some downward action to go, in my opinion. You guys know I'm looking to trade this absolutely aggressively here. Many are likely going to get absolutely burned. Right now, I'm setting up for my plays to potentially catch this move. I'm not in a position right now, but I am setting up my plays to potentially get in a position that I feel it has a high reward, low risk trade setup aspect to it. And I'm going to be looking to play it to the best of my ability to crush this market and get this crypto. So if you do want to see all of my personal trade setup ideas and how I'm strategizing to play this range here for the potential breakout in either direction, guys, you should think about joining VIP. Today is the day. It's time to transform yourself from average Joe into savage Joe. Let's get this crypto. I'll be posting all of this for you exclusively in VIP. All of my entries, exits, targets, positions, setups, strategies. I post it all for you in VIP exclusively. Like I said, I'm already strategizing for this range right here, right now. So if you want to see how I'm setting up my potential play there, well, my friends, I will be posting that for you in VIP right now after this video. You'll see how I'm trading that. And yeah, I think that's going to wrap it up here, ladies and gentlemen. So if you do appreciate this, ladies and gentlemen, slap a thumbs up here on this video today. Lots of moon boys are going to be very upset with this, and I don't understand why. It's not about a lottery ticket mentality, James. It's not. This is about looking at this market as a realist, just observing what's going on here. You know, it's just the understanding that I personally, right, you're entitled to your own opinion. I personally, from a classical technical analysis perspective, don't see how I can, with a right mind, say that this market looks more bullish than bearish. To me, it still looks like we are respecting a downward sloping trend, potentially still on a downward swing of a market cycle that has yet to bottom. Sure, that can change, you know, very quickly if other things start to happen, as I've already explained. Okay, so I'm looking for a potentially large move here. The warning signs are definitely on the wall right now that we could be faced with some severe downside action, although that can change if other bullish factors occur, more confirmations come in. But as I've stated already about 10 times, right now I do not see those confirmations there. So my bias is still currently bearish, and I'm looking at this market with a bearish bias right now. And that's going to wrap it up, guys. So if you do want to see my trade setups for this exact range right here as I look to crush the market and get this crypto, my friends, I'm posting it all right now exclusively for you in VIP. I will see you in VIP right now. Today is the day. It's time to transform yourself from average Joe into savage Joe. Let's get this crypto. And if you could one last time, my friends, moon up the likes, moon them up, smash those thumbs, click the subscribe button, tick the little bell, and let's get this crypto. Satoshi needs a new pair of shoes. I will see you in VIP right now. Let's get this crypto. And until next time, the Don has spoken. Be safe, be happy, be healthy. It's your boy, Crypto Kirby. Peace and love, my friends. Curbs.